It is day 3. Now, I'm currently on a walk around nearly 7 a.m. I wouldn't normally do this at all. I felt like I was falling into the habit of watching a bit of YouTube shorts in the evening before I went to bed. Just out of habit. And I haven't been doing that for the last 2 days, which I'm pretty proud of. And I think for a lot of you, if you are on this challenge, if you're just watching this a week behind or wherever, having an incentive like a challenge makes you become a bit more present in your decisions, and it's made me a little bit more present and being like, actually, I do need to stop that. I just need to go to bed. It's not benefiting me. I'm just getting a little bit of a dopamine hit and then staying in bed for a little bit longer and actually not getting as much sleep as I need. So 3 days of 7 hours of sleep already, and I'm feeling good. Even as coaches, I cannot stress this enough, even as coaches mess up. We just have to have the right environment and also just to be ready to change. So having a challenge like I'm doing does really help. It doesn't have to be some kind of glorified, I'm going to get shredded. No, it's about, if you want to lose a bit of fat loss, great. But the main part about this challenge is to improve your awareness of your lifestyle and how you can potentially improve it. So let's get stuck in nutrition today. So I'm going to talk you all through my meals, a little bit of how I make them, just the kind of the breakdown of the macros as well, just to give you a bit of an insight of like how fairly simple things can be. Now, just to kind of pre-warn you, I am going to make things not from massively scratch, but I'm going to cook things. Some people may not have that availability to do so, but I'm going to tell you how you can prep in advance, and it's really very simple. It's just depending on if you're willing to do it, if you have the time to do it, and if you don't, that's fine as well. So I'll explain everything. Let's get stuck in to day 3. Now, this is one of my go-to breakfasts. As you can see, it's super simple. It's just yogurt, a bit of oats on this one, granola if you want that, if you don't like oats. And then you've got some fruit. I like raspberries. And then I'm going to whack on a bit of honey at the end of it. It took me no more than probably 2 minutes to make this. It's super easy, super filling, and I cannot recommend it enough. Like, honestly, just have a look at this. Like, simple, had a little coffee with a bit of touch of foamy milk, and that is me done for brekkie. Meal 1 done. Now, with the breakfast, for me, I rotate it between 2 meals, maybe 3. But for now, it's a yogurt bowl and a pike bap, basically a bacon sarnie of some degree. And that's it. It doesn't need to be anything more than that. It's simple, it's filling, it's fairly quick. With the bap, it's a little bit more time consuming, but I can kind of do it kind of chipping away with things. It just requires me to put something in the oven, let it cook, and then maybe fry an egg. Everything else is pretty like just whack it together, I'm good to go. But I know that everyone is slightly different. You might not have the time. So if this is really important to like identify like how much time do you have when you need a meal, because that will determine on what you're going to make, whether it's cooking from scratch, buying it from a shop, let's say prepping so you can just eat it straight away, or whack it in the microwave. You just need to really understand like what's going on in your lifestyle. Do you need to change it to make it a little bit more efficient? And that's a big thing that I think a lot of people struggle with. So let's get on to meal 2. Okay, so this is going to be the chicken filler bowl. It is so good. I'm surprised that, like I said, like after this little speedy up video, I'm surprised how good it tasted with this like Aldi special like medium heat peri peri sauce. Massively rate it. And I even used a bit of the sauce in the foil as a bit of a topper upper, and it's really, really good. I mentioned about kind of prepping this in advance. If you don't want to have it on the day, you could have it all cold and just make sure to boil the potatoes, then season them. that'd be a really nice way and handy way to do it if you want to kind of prep in advance, if you don't have the ability to cook from home, or even just have the time. So meal prep can be quite handy with this one if you want to have a homemade meal. With the sauce, I do mention this in the other video, you can have a listen to that, but honestly it's one of my go-tos because it's so easy to make. I did forget to actually wash my cucumbers here. Normally do, just completely forgot. Washed everything else, and the tomatoes were from a neighbour and they were so delicious, super strong. I don't know, some like supermarket tomatoes just taste of nothing, so they were really good. Then we've got a bit of cabbage, that was lovely, but from that I would recommend finely chopping it instead of like just slicing it, because it just felt like you have a jaw rake constantly trying to eat all this food, because when we're looking at fat loss, we're looking at high volume, and this was a substantial amount. I think I mentioned it was about 1,200 grams. Like, it's quite a substantial amount of weight for all of this. So that's the base. You can obviously prep this in advance if you want to. Chicken is ready. Honestly, that sauce was so good. I even just topped it up on the meal. So I have got obviously the burger sauce, but adding a little bit of that made all the difference. It just made it a little bit more juicy, flavoursome, delicious. And then once, like, I cannot stress this enough, like, prepare your meals so they look good. Because if you don't, it just looks miserable. That may be just me, but it does really, really help. So the video is coming up in a minute about how good it looks, because even when I look at this, I'm like, oh my God, that looks insane. So I've just seasoned it, and then have a look at this. That is it. The chicken filler bowl. Ridiculous. Enjoy my little feedback. As you can see, that meal was ridiculously delicious. You might be thinking, like, what is that sauce? It's super simple. It is light mayo, ketchup, mustard, and chopped up gherkins. Mix it up, and then I added water, so no extra calories, adding anything else in. And it makes it just a little bit more runny, so I can use it a little bit more, so it's not so thick and I'm like, oh, I can't really get the sauce everywhere, because I love a bit of the sauce, and that's a really like go-to one for me. Just tastes good. Now when it comes to like prepping this, if you find that you're like, Andy, I don't have time to cook chicken, no stress. A really simple solution for this is get cooked chicken, or cook in advance and let it cool and put it in the fridge, and then boil the potatoes. So with the potatoes, you might want to season it after you boil it, cool it, whack it in the fridge. So all of that there is you can just make really, really quickly. You can prepare even like 2 to 3 days in advance. So you put sauce into the Tupperware, then the veg, then the potatoes, and then the chicken. So then you can just mix it all up so it doesn't get too soggy and horrible. So always put the sauce at the very bottom of a Tupperware if you're doing that, if it's from cold. That's a really simple switch if you are not cooking from home, because I'm a foodie. I like cooking, but also I'm empathetic with everyone of like, Andy, I don't have that time. So that's a very simple solution if you don't have time. Just a bit of prep, bit of chopping, but it's super simple, super tasty, high in volume. Like I think it was around about 1.2 kilos of weight for, I think it was about 500 to 600 calories, give or take. So it's just something to think about. Let's get on to, I can't even speak. Let's get on to meal 3. It is chili season, 365 days of the year. I just love it. I just thought, I haven't had it in a while actually. So I thought, why not have it now? It is getting a little bit colder. I would say it's more of a winter than a summer, but having a bit of chili on a jacket potato with salad in the summer, oh, epic. Anyway, when I put the pan on, I didn't realize I put the wrong hob on. So you might be able to see it. Put the olive oil in, and then, oh wait, put the wrong gas on, or the hob on. So rectified that and slowly heated it up, then got stuck on with the onions. This time, first time actually I've done this, is had to use frozen peppers because Aldi was out of peppers, which is really, really annoying, but luckily I had this and it's just what I needed. But I'm definitely going to do it going forward because it does preserve the flavour, especially if you're kind of leaving, let's say, a chili for the end of the week when you shopped in the Monday. So I would maybe do it again, chop it all up and chuck it in the freezer to make it a lot easier. Then, yeah, once all of the meat's in there, everything's cooked and browned, chuck in all the seasoning. I would recommend adding a bit of chocolate and bay leaves. Those two things for me just make a chili. Just a bit of a sweetness to it with the chocolate and a bit of bitterness, but also the bay leaf makes it a little bit sweet as well, which I just really like. This is a super consistent flavor for me with this recipe. If you follow it to the T, you are actually gonna get an amazing recipe, amazing flavored chili. So I'm going to get stuck into now just talking you through my portions. Let's go. So this is 750 or 755 grams to be exact. This is what I'm going to have. It's about 630 calories for this, and then with that I think it's a total of 760, give or take, total of this meal. And this is going to take me up to adequate protein. I think total for the day is about 170 grams of protein. I am feeling pretty good. I can definitely feel that I'm in a deficit, so a little bit more hungry, but at the same time I feel content, so I'm not starving. And so it's just finding that sweet spot when it comes to things like fat loss, but also when it comes to things like weight maintenance as well, of finding that sweet spot of adequate protein, adequate fiber, adequate carbs, adequate fats, but that's for another video. I'm going to get stuck into this and I'll give you a little summary of the day. Don't shoot the messenger, but I put a bit of coriander on this and it really made it just the right heat. Day 3 is nearly done. So this is a little summary, and I appreciate this is a little bit longer. I didn't expect this to be as long, but I just thought I'm just going to go with this and see where things go. I'm loving it because it's helping my creativity side that I just really enjoy. It brings the best out of me and really holds me accountable doing this challenge to keep creativity going, and sleep is definitely helping, and also water. Now, a big thing that I think a lot of people need to remind themselves, if you drop quite a significant amount of weight in the first week, maybe even 2 weeks, a lot of that is potentially going to be a lot of water weight, and that's completely normal. But I think a lot of people have that high expectation of, I'm going to lose that again next week, and when you don't, you feel really deflated. Like, you can only roughly lose about half a pound to maybe up to 2 pounds of body fat per week, right? That's a substantial amount. But when we lose over that, if you think, oh, I've only lost 3-4 pounds, cool, that's amazing, well done. But it's not obviously going to be all body fat. It could be things like carbohydrates, water. It could even be muscle as well, depending on how aggressive deficit you are and how little protein you're having. So it's really, really important to remember, like, stop glorifying the scales. They are part to the puzzle, but it's not the be all end all, because there's so many other factors to this that we need to really remember. And I will be discussing this in later videos, because I just want to take you on this journey to open your eyes up to the bigger picture here. And actually, if you were to have someone like myself support you through a journey like this, it makes this whole process far more enjoyable. So yeah, I'm good. It's day 3, right? I'm in the honeymoon period and I'm fully immersing myself with it. So let's see what happens in day 4. I don't know what I'm going to come up with at the moment in terms of what video is going to be chucked on your screens, but watch your space. Do not forget to hit the subscribe, give a little like button. It means the absolute world. And I'll see you in the next video.